Well, I doubt much of this will show up. It is Monday, Labor Day, September 2nd, 2024. Oh, too early in the morning, about 04:54. They are closing the Mackinaw Bridge area today for the walk across the bridge. You got to be into that by 6 o'clock in the morning. With everything going through my head, of course, I couldn't sleep. I was up by 2 o'clock this morning, I guess. So we were going to get up early to make sure we were past the bridge by 6 a.m., but we're definitely going to make it now, barring any catastrophic unforeseen incident. I doubt anything's going to show up on this, but there you have it.
Going under in the dark, and I guess it's probably close to 5 o'clock, a little after, on Labor Day, Monday, September 2nd. And we've been watching other boats all make their passage under the bridge as well. So all the traffic is going by so that they can get to the other side, wherever they're going, before they close it. Don't mind coming in the dark because you'll be able to see, but I guess just stay there. So still Labor Day morning, September 2nd. It's 6:18. I just thought I'd get a picture of going from being in the dark to waiting for the sun to rise. It's pretty spectacular. Another boat behind us. We've got two boats behind us, probably many more, just too up close and personal. And you can't see many more, but we were dotted the horizon with lights because we all had to be under the bridge about 6:15. The other way. Monday, September 2nd, Labor Day, and it is about 8:05, and we are at the southern part of Ray's Passage Reef. We left the docks about, I don't know, 4 something. Way too stinking early. Before 5. 4:45. Anyway, so here we are. And all of the loopers have all gone their ways. They're just dots on the horizon. Disappearing.
Well, as Michelle said, we just got spit out of the bottom of Gray's Reef Passage. We revised our plans a little bit today. We were going to go to Beaver Island and wait for some favorable, well, probably beat to windward all day tomorrow to get somewhere. We don't know where. And then anyway, we decided we got up so early. We got so much of the day left ahead of us, and if we could get all the way down to South Manitou Island today, that'd make getting across the lake to Washington Island or someplace like that a lot easier tomorrow. So now it's time to grouse a little bit. We're supposed to have a northerly wind this morning, which we possibly could have sailed to until we got to the bottom of Gray's Reef Passage, and it was pretty much dead calm. After that, the winds were supposed to become westerly, and if we were going to Beaver Island, we knew we were going to be motoring directly into that, except we were going to be early enough that we probably would have missed most of that. So we just listened to Iron Mike to get the forecast, make sure everything was still looking good, because that westerly wind we could have sailed all the way down to Manitou Island on. And bear in mind, they're still forecasting northwest winds. Guess which direction they're out of?
South.
The south.
The south.
Yep, the northwest winds are out of the south. What about the bridge? The bridge that we got up so early this morning, good little boys and girls. We got up so we could get through before the security zone went into effect. And shortly after the security zone went up, they just started letting everybody through anyway. Just call the watch commander on such and such, and he'll give you permission to go through. Well, so
That's what I was supposed to say.
I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning for nothing. Except that it did give us a long enough day that we can make it to South Manitou Island.
Got to see the stars, got to see the sunrise.
Yeah. Got to do a little boating in the dark.
Yep.
Anyway. Okay, enough complaining for now. Maybe, well, we'll see. If you believe windy, we might have a little bit of wind to sail to today, but my guess is we're going to be under the engine all day long. Well, we're just passing the mouth of Little Traverse Bay, and there's a tug with a barge. Not showing up on Boat Nerd, so I'm not sure what his name is. And directly ahead of us and passing to starboard is the Arthur M. Anderson. And we're just off the southern tip of Beaver Island over here. goes the Arthur M. Anderson. Second time we've ever seen it. Also the second time we've seen that historic ship on this trip. I forget where we were at the last time. Were we on the St. Mary's River? Well, not much to film, motoring in a virtual calm. On our way to the anchorage at South Manitou Island, which we had not planned on going to today. Pains me greatly to motor 80 miles. That is, I think, the longest we've ever motored in a long day, which we wouldn't have been able to do had we not left Mackinaw City as early as we did. But that gave us enough time to get down here without getting in too late, anchoring in the dark and that kind of thing. One of those things that I just don't need to do at my age when I'm on vacation. If somebody is paying me to do it, fine. There's a little bit of a breeze, but and you can probably sail, but not as breezy as it looks. It's only about 5 or 6 knots. You're lucky to get 2.5, 3 knots over the ground. Pretty mundane scene. Seen too much of this trip. But if all works out, we'll be better positioned from the anchorage at South Manitou. Sail across the lake tomorrow to Washington Island, where we hope to anchor and spend a couple nights maybe. This is kind of it, the last hurrah before we head home. And Ma Nature is making it hard on us as far as the wind direction getting down the lake. But towards the end of the week, we may have more favorable winds to do that. Anyway, we'll see. But yeah, if the forecast holds up for the next few days, we should be able to sail across the lake with no problem. What? I know, the director's up there in the booth watching everything we do. As soon as we try to sail across the lake tomorrow, yeah, guess what? Winds are out of the west-northwest now. Okay, we'll sail south. Winds are out of the south now. Well, why don't we head north? They're out of the north. So, for lack of anything better to do, since we're motoring all the way down to South Manitou Island, we got on the topic of loopers. And as AGLCA members ourselves, I feel like we're entitled to comment. We've noticed that the loopers are kind of a cliquish group. They are not as social to other boaters unless you are a looper yourself. We don't fly the Burgee and mention it unless anybody asks. But yeah, generally speaking, most of them don't seem too interested in talking to you unless they can milk you for some local information. Of course, they're the ones missing out. Anyway, you see more of them this time of the year. They're all the inverse of salmon. They're all swimming down the Illinois River, headed for the Illinois River to swim downriver and head for Florida to spawn or whatever they do. So we're finishing off Labor Day 2024. That's Monday, September 2nd, 2024. And we are in the anchorage at South Manitou Island. Had a couple of green chili cheeseburgers right after we dropped the hook here. Having some cocktails in the cockpit. And not a very nice view because the screens are up. The flies are awful.
Ankle biters.
Yep, the ankle biters. We thought we were done with them, but they are still a thing. And anyway, we completed 80 miles, which we weren't planning on doing today. I'm sure in all the stuff we've talked about today, the Mackinaw Bridge became a footbridge today, and for security reasons, they closed all the waters around it, and so everybody had to be through by 6 o'clock, although they started letting boats through after we got up at 2 a.m. Didn't have to get up that early, but
that's when we woke up.
Yeah, we woke up because we set our alarm clock for 3:15 or 3:30, something like that, and started waking up thinking, is our alarm, did we oversleep? So we got off the dock about probably 4:45, something like, I don't know, way too early.
It was 4:45.
Yeah, way too early. And then everybody else who didn't get up early got to go through. Until they didn't, they started denying people later in the day. So we were listening to all that on the radio. Anyway, long story short, we are here. After motoring 80 miles, the longest we've ever motored in one day. We were going to go to Beaver Island. We'd have gotten in there probably, 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. And then done what? Only to beat to windward all day long. So it was kind of a choice. Do we, the next day, beat to windward down the lake to try to get somewhere, wherever that may be, or do we bite the bullet and motor all the way down to South Manitou Island and then maybe cross the lake to someplace like Washington Island tomorrow, which is what we opted for. So it pained me greatly to motor for 12 hours and 80 miles. That sucked. In a veritable calm.
Yeah, it was calm.
So forecast had some hope for sailing, and there just really wasn't any. But anyway, beautiful sunset here at South Manitou Island. We had our green chili cheeseburgers on the grill tonight. It's back there somewhere. And we've had a couple of cocktails. And since we've been up since 2 o'clock this morning, and it is now just before 8 in the evening, we are probably going to turn in before too long.
I imagine. I can hear music on their boat, and I hear a loon behind
I
you.
heard loons, yeah. I didn't hear the music because I'm deaf.
The music's coming, I think, from the sailboat.
The loons freak me out. They're too spooky. I heard that. I'm scared. Hold me.